Welcome, everybody. I am just going to give everyone a few minutes to join on here before I actually get started in the process. My name is Mark DeNicola. Again, I might repeat this a couple times. Good to see some of you joining on. As you're joining on, always the first thing I love to gather from people is where you're tuning in from tonight. Drop it in the comments. Let me know where you're online from. This is my second time doing one of these guided meditations here on Heal. The first time, if you happen to be on at that point, I was in a different location. I've since moved. Initially, the first one I did was right from the heart of downtown Toronto in Ontario, Canada. I haven't moved too far away, but definitely out of the downtown core to now more of a quiet town suburb. It's, if any of you know, it's Elora. Out also still in Ontario and in Canada. Let me see where everybody's here. From Connecticut, I saw. That's awesome. Los Angeles, Mexico, SoCal, Minnesota, amazing. Singapore, Boise, lots of great places. New Jersey, it's amazing. I love how large the Heal community is and how many people it brings together from all over the world. And of course, all of that is owed to the great work of Kelly Noonan-Gores, who had the vision behind Heal, created such a powerful documentary, has since created an impeccable book that has that next level to the documentary, now has the podcast and so many great resources, including what we do here on Instagram Live, which for those of you who happen to be tuning in for the first time, every Wednesday at this time slot, which is 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we have a Healing Wednesday. So whether it's the producer of the film, Adam Schomer, doing breath work and guided meditation, or it's Lexi, one of the other team members that I work with, that's doing sound baths and healing meditations, or myself, who also does some guided meditations. And then every other Sunday, partnered with WellSet, we have more healing modalities, from tapping to yoga to stretching to all these different things. So we try to bring as much healing content as possible to all of you in a variety of ways, in addition to our core documentary, book, podcast, and everything else that's readily available. So thank you for being here again. I assume, since I haven't seen anything in the comments, that the audio is coming through clearly. If there is any issues, or someone could just give me a thumbs up or a yes, audio is clear, I'll feel even more confident before we actually start the meditation. Yes, okay, awesome. So tonight's guided meditation is going to be focused on creating a state of mental clarity, or removing a lot of those blockages, those unnecessary thoughts, programs, belief systems that we let kind of run rampant in our mind, whether it be consciously or subconsciously. The things that can just kind of hamper us and bring us down and make life a lot more complicated and more difficult than it needs to be. Since I see a question from where can we watch Heal? In most parts of the world right now, it's available on Amazon. So if you do have a Prime membership, that's the best way to do it. If not, go to the Heal website, healdocumentary.com. If you click on Watch along the top menu, it'll show you all the other options, just in case Amazon Prime isn't available for you or isn't available in your region. But yes, so tonight's guided meditation is going to be centered around creating that mental clarity. It's going to guide you through a bit of an exercise that I've had really wonderful results, both personally and assisting other people, to kind of quiet that mind. And while we just wait a couple more minutes for people to come on, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the initial breathing process, just for those of you that weren't on the last time I joined. The first breathing exercise to kind of kick off the meditation is something that I actually borrow from one of the Heal experts. Her name is Joan Borisenko. She does some fantastic work. So if you haven't heard of her, or you can't remember who she is offhand, I thoroughly recommend looking her up and following her work. But this breathing technique, I find, is such a powerful way to really quiet the mind and set basically a quieter landscape to work from and to start a meditation. A lot of people use it to calm anxiety, to calm panic, to calm nervousness. So I think it's a great way to start. So just without actually doing it yet, I just want to kind of get you familiar with what we'll be doing to start. And then the rest of the process after that will be just a very guided and calming meditation that's more just natural breathing. But to start off, the initial breath will be an inhalation through the nose, so only through your nose. So your mouth will not be taking in any air. It'd be through the nose, taking a full deep breath, not forcing it. So you're not trying to take more to the point where your stomach is kind of quivering or your chest is quivering. You're trying to force and take in more than what's natural, but just a nice full breath in through the nose. And then you'll be pausing for just a second or two. Nothing, again, not trying to force and prove anything about how long you can hold it or anything of that nature. A slight pause, and then an exhalation out through your mouth with pursed lips, as if you almost have like a straw in your mouth that you'll be blowing out. So again, the first breath, once we get started here, will be a deep inhalation through the nose, a tiny pause, and then exhalation, nice and slow and calm through the mouth, or out through the mouth, as if you were blowing out of a straw. So that'll be the initial breath we're going. Then from there, I will guide you through the rest of this meditation. So if you haven't already, get yourself into a nice comfortable position, whether that be seated or whether that be laying down. Ideally not something that's very easy for you to fall asleep by anything like that, but just something that just kind of feels relaxing, that won't be distracting or anything like that. And one other thing I do want to mention, I love to mention this before every meditation I lead, because a lot of people, whether you're new to meditation or you've been doing it for a long time, it's very easy for the mind to make you feel as if it's not working or you're not getting a lot out of it. And a big reason for that, I find, is that a lot of people judge any thoughts from the mind. And it's natural for the mind to wander, for the mind to get distracted at different points. And if that ever happens to you, rather than buying into the story of, oh, this is ruined, I'm getting nothing out of this, meditation doesn't work, it doesn't work for me, whatever story you want to say, just simply bring yourself back. I'll be guiding a lot, I'll be speaking a lot, so there's always something to come back to. And if you really can't connect with what I'm saying, there's always the breath. So there's always your natural breathing rhythm for you to just dial into. And trust your higher self. Trust what's going on inside, that it's always getting something from the experience, even if your mind wanders for a moment or two or got lost thinking about something along the way. Okay? So we're going to get going now. So again, just seated in a comfortable position. I do recommend just closing your eyes. And we're going to start off with that breathing technique. I'll run through it one more time. We're going to do 3, if you have more time, 4 cycles of breath where it's in through the nose, just a nice deep natural breath through the nose, a slight pause, and then an exhale out through the mouth as if you're blowing out of a straw. Let's do 3 to 4 of those. And then once you've done your 3 to 4, because I'm going to give everyone a little bit more time to do it, just allow yourself to return to your natural breath. And then after a moment or two, I will begin the guided meditation process. Okay, so thank you all for being here. And let's begin with those 3 to 4 breaths, with the in through the nose, the pause, and the exhale out through the mouth as if we are blowing through a straw. Whether you are done your cycles of breath or still in the process of them, once you finish the 3 to 4 cycles, just return to your normal breathing, whatever feels most natural and easy for you at this moment. And as you continue to breathe normally, again, no specific technique involved anymore, I want you to now draw all of your attention towards either the tips of your fingers or the tips of your toes. You could choose. Just choose one or the other and focus all of your attention on one of them at this time. No matter which you've chosen, I'm willing to bet that since bringing either the fingertips or the finger toes into your awareness, you felt something, whether it be a subtle tingling or just feeling the heaviness or their presence, in some way you choosing to become aware of either your fingertips or the tips of your toes brought to your awareness this part of your body in a way that it wouldn't have naturally come into your awareness without the intention for it to become a part of your awareness. And my reasoning behind starting in this way is to show each and every one of you the power of our awareness. It's so easy to feel powerless in this world and to feel like we're incapable or that we have no energetic abilities or connectivity or we have an inability to meditate deeply, when in reality, just our ability to become aware of a certain part of our body and that awareness leading us to feel something there, even in the most subtle of way, or to just draw so much attention there that we just feel what that feels like, and it's no longer running on autopilot as this part of our physical vessel, shows that we are all capable of focusing, of shifting energy, and of awareness. And as you have that awareness that you drew towards either your fingertips or the tips of your toes, I now invite you to shift it to the center of your forehead, to the area that many refer to as the housing for your third eye. Draw all of your attention to that center of your forehead. Feel what that space feels like. Allow your energy and focus to rest there. And as it rests there, I'm now going to count up from 1 to 10. And as I say each number, I invite you to visualize that number flashing 3 times in the center of your forehead. Each number as we ascend from 1 to 10 is going to signify a deeper connection to this meditative process, a deeper connection to your higher self or to your soul or to whatever it is beyond that you personally believe in and resonate with, and a deeper connection with every individual that is actively participating in this meditation at this time or has participated in it and left an energetic imprint because of their participation in the past. 1. Visualize that number 1 flashing 3 times in the center of your forehead. 2. 3. 4. 5. See it flashing 3 times in the center of your forehead. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. As you finish seeing the number 10 flash 3 times in the center of your forehead, I now invite you to expand that awareness. Instead of focusing specifically on where your third eye resides or that center of your forehead, expand it out to encompass your entire brain, your entire head, and everything that encompasses that brain within you. Feel that energy expand. And as it expands, I want you to visualize your brain as a sort of super highway, something that you've likely heard it referred to as before. This very intricate connection and collection of paths that overlap and travel in a million different ways and connect in a million different ways. This incredible, seemingly infinite thing that exists within each and every one of us. And as you see this superhighway, you can see flashes of information, data, thoughts, programs, belief systems, all just shooting from one side to the other, hundreds at a time, if not thousands or tens of thousands, allowing you to be present in this moment and to exist in this moment. And as this superhighway continues to move, and you continue to visualize this superhighway of your mind, we're now going to dive into a little bit of an imaginative experience with it. And as you see that superhighway, really do everything you can to visualize it as a set of roads, as a set of pathways where these thoughts, programs, and belief systems travel. But as you see these roads, for the purposes of this exercise, I want you to now see these roads becoming wet with rain, or icy with snow. Things that, for those of you who've ever had the experience of driving through torrential rain or through very snowy or icy conditions, know that travel is not as simple as it is on a warm summer's day. Conditions that you need to be careful navigating through to avoid slipping around, to avoid crashing into others. It's a highway that isn't as smooth as we would ideally like it to be. And this snow and this heavy rainfall is resemblant of the unhealthy thoughts, programs, and belief systems we've bought into. The things that prevent us or derail us from traveling smoothly down a path of least resistance, smoothly down a path connected to our inner clarity, divinity, and coherence. So as we see these congested roads that are polluted with the snow, sleet, rain of our unhealthy thoughts, programs, and belief systems, we're now going to equip ourselves to both better travel through these conditions and ultimately clear these conditions to bring about a state of mental clarity and peace that we are not only capable of, but naturally intended to experience. So still with this hazardous road or intricacy of pathways within your mind visualized, I now want you to visualize your own personal vehicle. The vehicle, it may not be one that you presently own or anything like that, but just a vehicle that you are inhabiting. So picture a car that you use to navigate through this pathway, that you have the challenge in front of you of navigating through this superhighway with all the snow and the sleet and the ice and the rain and everything that's going on within it. You have this car that you're behind the wheel of, that you are in control of. You dictate what path you travel on and what path you let derail you and for how long. And of course, a car in conditions like this, while it can get through, it's not as well equipped as it can be. And it can be a very difficult journey. So we're going to upgrade this car. I want you to now visualize this car getting upgraded to a very strong pickup truck. One that has 4-wheel drive and full capability to have great traction through any condition, or is designed to have the best traction possible in very hazardous conditions. With this pickup truck now, you feel more equipped, but not enough. So we want to strengthen ourselves even more. Let's upgrade this even further. I want you to visualize this pickup truck now having a plow connected to the front of it, a bit of like a snow plow to really push away anything that may be blocking you as you travel on this road. We install that plow to now make this vehicle that is resemblant and symbolic of our state of being, of our presence, of our ability to navigate our mind, even more capable of getting through any condition, of breaking through any thought, program, and belief system, and traveling through the neural pathways and highways of our mind, effortlessly and peacefully. And while a pickup truck with a plow seems relatively strong, we're going to take it further. I now want to upgrade that plowed pickup truck to now become an actual full-size snowplow. Whether or not you've ever seen one in your life or experienced conditions that required one, This is a massive truck that is specifically designed to clear roads in hazardous conditions, to make the roads as safe as possible for smaller vehicles. Picture this beautiful, big truck that is resemblant of your ability to clear your neural pathways, to clear your mind. And we're going to equip it even further. We're going to add chains to the tires to make it even capable of gripping and getting through any condition completely effortlessly. This pickup, this snowplow, this massive piece of machinery is resemblant of how powerful we can be, and is resemblant of our intention in this moment to clear the neural pathways of our mind. And now fully equipped with this massive vehicle designed to clear these pathways, I want you to just visualize yourself clearing these roads. Clearing out any blockages, all the snow that is piled up, the ice, breaking it, shattering it and pushing it aside and getting it out of your way. You are behind the wheel of this powerful machine, a machine capable of breaking through all of the unnecessary thoughts, programs, and belief systems you've bought into and allowed to become stories in your mind. With every nook and cranny of this intricate highway, this super highway in your mind that you travel with this plow, you create a path of ease, a path where you can easily navigate through any predicament or challenge that life throws your way. Dialed into your highest self, to your highest state of being, without being derailed by the untrue and unnecessary thoughts, programs, and belief systems, traumas in life, or you personally have allowed yourself to believe. We as individuals always have the choice to navigate the routes of our mind as a vehicle that can easily slip and slide through difficult conditions, or a fully equipped vehicle designed to travel exactly where we intend it to and in alignment with our highest self. So anytime you find yourself caught in an unproductive loop or mental belief system that tells you you are less than, you are incapable of, you are not worthy, you are not strong enough, or anything of that nature, remind yourself that that is just the byproduct of you choosing to give unnecessary power to something that occurred and has developed this pathway that covered the road that tells you, that traditionally and effortlessly would tell you you are strong enough, you are capable enough, you are powerful, you are in control. It instead covers it with this snow and sleet and hail and rain that makes getting to that point more difficult. But you've cleared those pathways now. You know deep down that you are always in control of where your mind takes you. And you are always in control of how long you let a story, program, or belief system run you. How long you choose to play victim, how long you choose to be upset, how long you choose to dial into any emotion that, while it may hold purpose in the present moment, is never designed to linger. There's no true benefit to holding on to something like anger beyond a reasonable period of time from when something triggers it. We only do a disservice to ourselves and others when we choose to hold on to these things and continually cover up these roads that prevent us from traveling effortlessly and being our greatest selves, and instead lead us down these paths of these untrue and these unnecessary program stories and belief systems. As you continue to focus your energy, focus your attention to the area within your brain, just feel what that space feels like. Feel the air, the space that exists from one side of your brain, or from one edge of your skull to the other edge of your skull. From the back of your eyes to the back of your head, feel the space that exists. Feel the potential. Feel the amount of creativity that is a byproduct of what exists within that realm. And remember who is in the driver's seat of that realm. And choose to always create a path that is in alignment with your highest self and with the person you choose to be in this world. As you continue to focus your attention there, I'm now going to count down from 10 to 1. Again, as I say each number, I want you to visualize that number flashing 3 times in the center of your forehead. Each number this time is going to signify stepping down from this meditative process, but not releasing the impact that it had on our mental clarity and processing abilities, but instead just stepping back into the physical reality where we will reconnect here and continue to reap the benefits from what we've collectively experienced. 10. See the number flash 3 times in the center of your forehead. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. See the number flash 3 times in the center of your forehead. 4. 3. 2. And 1. You can slowly start to move your body and open your eyes. Bring yourself back to the process. If anyone has any questions about what we just did or any comments on it, whether you enjoyed it, liked certain parts of it, not others, I honestly don't even know what's going to come every time. This one, I'll be honest, was far more verbally guided, so I hope you didn't mind that how much I spoke throughout it. I didn't necessarily set that intention of like, oh, I'm going to do this in this way. I always just kind of know a certain process, but then I love to kind of see what I feel naturally compelled to do. So that one led to me speaking quite a bit throughout, so I hope that was enjoyable for you and very helpful to you. It definitely let me know through the comments. Got a couple of thank yous. I'm sure it worked well for those people. My middle eye is blocked. That third eye is blocked. Well, just envision for anyone who feels like they have that kind of those veils. I find one visualization that really helps for me is literally visualizing like veils or post-it notes on your third eye. If you really feel like it's blocked and you can't connect that inner guidance, that intuition, almost like envision, like lay down or just sit down and envision pulling post-it notes off or these veils away from that area there. Each one signifying a story, program, or belief system that prevents you from just being able to access and see things clearly. So that's just something that I found really helpful, and I've had other people guide me through. I'll just read a couple of these other comments and thank yous. I'm having a headache and strains in eyes. That's definitely something that can happen. I would always recommend, if you can, especially if your current schedule allows, just kind of give yourself time to recalibrate. Be easy on yourself. Try to stay away from blue light for a little while, since that can obviously assist us. I know we have to use this technology to communicate with us, but this technology obviously has some negative implications like blue light and stuff like that. So take some time away from tech once we finish this session. Definitely, that would be a personal recommendation of mine. Typically, not for this process, but typically I wear blue light blockers even when doing anything on technology, as much as possible to mitigate that. I didn't want to do that for here so we wouldn't see the glare and stuff. There's a couple other questions. I was going to appreciate I'm glad that was helpful. Did this on my patio and a small storm came in, so it reminded me of my mental power. That's amazing. I love when things like that happen, the beautiful synchronicities of life. That is beautiful. So just a couple of, any particular reason for visualizing the number flashing as opposed to just appearing? That was something that I personally have found helps to keep people really connected. Of course, anything can work, and meditation is a unique experience for everybody, but I find that with the flashing and with the more heavy guidance, it decreases the likelihood that someone's mind will drift, because there's something active for them to not only listen to, but to also practice, or to put into practice right away. So that's why I typically suggest the flashing 3 times. So instead of waiting for that next number where the mind can easily get distracted, it's kind of a cycle of like, see it 3 times, or something to consistently do, and we move on to the next one, and something to consistently do, we move on to the next one. So that's kind of the reasoning behind that. That's a great question. Couple quick things that are exciting on the heal front that I'll just let you guys know about. We do have a new episode of the podcast dropping. Should be in the next 8 to 12 hours, I would guess. We don't have the exact timing of when it goes live on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. This is a particularly special episode. It's a long overdue solo episode with Kelly Noonan-Gores, the director of Heal, the writer of Heal the book, and the host of Heal the podcast. And she talks about 2 very interesting things. The first one, she opens up in a very vulnerable and honest way about her recent breast explant surgery. So she opens up about what led her to getting breast implants in the first place about a dozen or so years ago, and then what led her towards what ultimately became her getting them removed from her body, and her experience since that point, and the whole explant experience itself. So that's something that's very worthwhile checking out. The name of the podcast is The Heal Podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on our YouTube channel, which are all available. If you go to our Instagram profile and you click on the link, our Linktree link, there's buttons for each and every one of those. So that drops in the next 8 to 12 hours. In addition to talking, in addition to talking about her breast explant procedure, she also delves into her recent experience at the week-long advanced retreat with Dr. Joe Dispenza, which I know is hands down one of the favorites amongst a lot of you out there of all the heal experts. She recently went to his week-long retreat, had an incredible experience, so she delves into what that is, what she took from it, and so much more. So it's a really powerful episode to stay tuned for, to check out. Stay posted here to social media. If you happen to forget about it, we will do plenty of posting to remind you to listen to the podcast episode, but that is a beautiful one to check out. So that is that. And of course, this Sunday, we do have another one of these healing sessions. It is Sunday morning if you're in the Pacific Coast or Eastern Standard Time region, but we'll have postings about that. So of course, stay posted to our social. That's with someone from Wellset. And then next Wednesday, the producer of the film, Adam Schomer, will be back in this spot to lead you through another Healing Wednesday. But I'm sure I personally will be back with you guys again, just like this was my second time here. And I do look forward to that point. But for all of you who tuned in tonight, I truly appreciate you being a part of this process. I truly hope that you found it to be helpful. I have a deep love and gratitude for each and every one of you. Whether you caught this live or you are catching this on the replay, I truly hope that it proves helpful. And don't hesitate to reach out to me on Instagram. I am at Mark DeNicola, DENICOLA. I'll put all that in the description over here. And of course, just send me a direct message and I can connect you to my YouTube channel, some other things like that if you are interested in exploring my work further. But thank you so much, everyone. And I will see you all again in the near future.